Artists are tasked with uncovering things that people don't pay attention to and provoking responses that are outside of people's everyday experience. I think that that can have a huge impact on people in general, on society, and obviously culture is important to all of us. My name is Daniel Arsham. I am an artist that makes things in many different mediums. The design practice that I formed is called Snarkitecture, and the name is based on a Lewis Carroll poem called The Hunting of the Snark. A story about a bunch of idiots searching for a beast called the snark. All they have to go on is a blank white map. The universe of color in my work is very reductive. Everything in here, is tones of gray. And that is partially because I'm colorblind. I do use a lot of different materials in the studio. Volcanic ash and selenite crystal, obsidian, pyrite. There's a number of different types of quartz that I use, organ fiberglass, and my paintings are made in gouache. I make films. There's very few materials that I wouldn't have some sort of idea to manipulate. I have a 2.5-year-old son named Casper, who has certainly influenced my view of the world. We try to create scenarios in which people of all generations and ages can sort of misuse architecture. I have been making these objects which are very evocative, these kind of future relic pieces that appear as if we're viewing them either from the future or that these objects have been brought back. First work that I made was an old camera that I had that was cast in ash. I brought some stones back from Easter Island, crushed those up, and that became the first work. People would say, what is the universe that you imagine these objects existing within? So I wrote that as a kind of treatment, and some people that I knew encouraged me to develop that into a script, and it sort of went from there. Every time that I make these projects, I try to give the audience some other aspect of the film universe. In some ways, part of my interest in the future actually comes through my sort of obsession with archaeology. Inherently, archaeology is a fiction. In some ways, these figure works that I've been making more recently really recall the famous figures from Pompeii. They're contemporary figures. We can tell they're contemporary because they're wearing Nikes, yet they appear as if we're viewing them from the future. I try to combine elements of the present to allow viewers to feel like it's not so removed from their everyday life. My feeling about time is as malleable as the other materials in which I work. So that prompt of welcome to the future is that each moment in which you arrive is the future, right? You've already arrived at it.